So we return to goo. I gotta turn on the volume. Here it is. Alright. Next on the agenda is we gotta beat Whitney. And current levels, I like the difference in HP values here. 44 to 100. Insane. Okay. So, I've done all the trainer battles that I can at the moment. Today's Monday, so I can't do a fairy catching contest. Oh, I did grind a bunch of coins, so now I have a bunch of coins, so I can trade them for shards. We can see later. For now, we're gonna do this. Alright. First, we enter the lottery corner and win a master orb, right? Ready? No. Special quiz. First question, can you check the town map? Sure. Cherno is blue. True? Yeah. You are correct. Kurt uses apricots. No, he uses apricorns. You fool. You didn't hear me right. Yeah, alright. Okay. It is impossible to use a TM on C. Satori. Yeah. Puppet Talk, is he on with Marie? I don't know. I don't listen to the radio because I don't have a radio card. Why are you asking me questions about the radio? Huh? Bingo, you got it. Congratulations. Here's your prize. You are now forced to listen to the radio. Yo, cool. You did it. I thought the answer to the third question was surely apricots. Okay, bye. Okay, wait. I think I can get something up here. Does anyone know what the radio effects do in this game? I know there's like the Sinnoh March. Radio is good. There's like a Hoenn March and a Sinnoh March thing you can do, where it's, if you play it, it makes certain Pokemon appear in the wild. There's Buena's password. You can tell me the password, you earn points. Save the points, trade prizes. Blue card. Uh-huh. What are the prizes? Yeah, but like, what are the prizes? You need 48 for a singular rare candy. So if you play, like the Poke Flute. You know, I didn't know that you have to get the Poke Flute like that in Kanto for the longest time. This is GTS. Yeah, I opened a whole slab of land over here for this. Because, like, you're supposed, when you get the power plant part, it turns the power back on, and you have access to the radio tower, radio effects. And you're supposed to use that to turn on the Poke Flute channel, and that makes Snorlax wake up. Which, if I'm being honest, that seems a little obtuse. I think the idea is that it's supposed to be like, hey, it's Lavender Town where you got the Poke Flute in the original game, so the Lavender Town radio tower has the Poke Flute as well. Which, if you ask me, is just not intuitive. In fact, I would argue that's pretty stupid. But what do I know? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't go this way. Okay. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah. Alright, boys. The Hoenn and Sinnoh have an increased chance that the 5% and lower encounters appear by 20 or 40%. Well, that's pretty nifty. I don't remember how to access those things. Anyway, chat, we're going to do a little bit of grinding here. And by a little bit of grinding, I mean we're just going to get our puppets up to about 20 or so. There's Toyohimes in this grass. We want to get everyone to level 20, 21, I think. So this is your not quite a... Oh boy. This is your not quite a grind. But also, it's kind of far from a Pokemon Center, so this isn't a very good place to do this. Especially since I'm almost dead. Alright, whatever. This one kills itself. Or not. It's not worth that much. Karate chop. Karate chop. Okay. I've decided I don't really like this grass. But, like, whatever. We're here now. I'm gonna have to run all the way back. They're so low level compared to me. This is why I'm afraid Whitney's gonna beat my ass. That was an accident. Yes, 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 yes. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Holy shit, she killed me. Alright. I've decided I don't want to be in this grass anymore. I'm getting out of here. The things in here are too strong to grind against. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit further. I guess we're gonna go to Route 34. Because that's just easier to access for Pokemon Center than 35. Unless I had access to Aquatique, but even then. Alright, we're going for a couple levels. This is pseudo grinding. Pseudo grinding. Come along, Guya. I've never found a shiny yet by doing this. Oh shit, there's a TM over there that I missed. You gotta remember that Guya's really good at taking hits, but Guya doesn't really have any options to hit people with effectively. Do you see how much EXP I got? You see, I got that much EXP. That's much better. Iku. Alright, Pinhead. Your time is up. You know, chat, maybe it's for the best that I never have to play another X game again. Maybe the fact that I stopped at X4 means that I've peaked. This is the end of me. I don't need Wanting anymore. I'll get rid of that. Magical Leaf is at least stab. Decision. And just please leave already. Skill swap. Well, that actually activated download. I still want to play 7 and 8, which I will probably do. Mainly because 7 and 8 most likely won't crash. But yeah, I'm not playing X5 again. I think I'm good on that for the rest of my life. And thus, X4X saved the world. The end. Good ending, actually. Apricot berry. I'll take that. Would you please leave already? If I ever become a maverick, Zero, you gotta please promise me you'll deal with me. That's a crazy question. Stop talking nonsense, man. Get back to base. Wow. What a downgrade. Mega Man 8 will be fine for a finale. Because I like Mega Man 8. I mean, I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't remember if I like Mega Man 8. I know I said it's the only, like, Mega Man game I ever really made real progress in when I was younger. But I don't know if that meant that I liked it. I think it just meant it was the only game I could fucking play longer than, like, one stage. I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe it was the cheesy voice acting. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was the cheesy voice acting. I'm Grenade Man. Oh, he's great. I love that guy. He's Grenade Man. I got an idea. Let's make a mech, and he's a giant explosive. That's brilliant. Fucking brilliant, Mike. I mean, how many mechs were actually built by Dr. Light anyway? Did Dr. Light actually build a single Mega Man boss after Mega Man 1? Because in Mega Man 1, oh, it's you. In Mega Man 1, the Doc robots were taken over by Wily and made evil. But after that, wasn't it just like Dr. Wily built a bunch of freaks because he wanted them to take over the world with? And that's kind of what happens every single game. Is that Dr. Not Wily / Dr. Wily builds a bunch of freaks because he wants to take over the world with them? Is Mega Man 9 like some kind of reimagining of Mega Man 1? I guess because Mega Man 9 came out, what, 15 years after Mega Man 8? The Dark Robots. You're nature, not water. Never mind, you are water. Okay. Mega Man 9 was 2008. The one on WiiWare. WiiWare? I can't play WiiWare, bro. I can't play fucking WiiWare. I don't know how to do that. How do you play WiiWare? You think I can play Xbox Arcade? If I could play Xbox Arcade, I could play Bomberman Act Zero. I can't play that game. I wanted to, for some reason. I did want to, but it's impossible to get your hands on that. Pretty sure that game is like 100 levels of shit. And then you finish it, and it's like, good job. Thumbs up. They slashed the budget. That's not the only thing that got slashed in that game, I'll tell you that. Yeah, but I have to find the WiiWare, don't I? Can't charge or slide in Mega Man 9. Well, you can't charge and slide in Mega Man 2 and 1, and those are the best Mega Man games ever made, so, like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Dun 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 dun. Could you stop being paralyzed? How have you been paralyzed 6 turns in a row? That's actually impressive. I didn't even know you could roll that unfavorably. Though I guess today is quite an accomplishment of rolling, isn't it? Sure is. Trimmer fought the hardest boss in Mega Man history. Asterisk. And then he beat the hardest boss in Mega Man history. Asterisk. And then what happened? His game exploded. Damn. Damn indeed. You know what I'll probably do? I'll probably watch like a speed run of it. I'll probably watch a speed run of the game and I'll be like, what a cool game, and then I will not engage with that game ever again. That sounds about right. I might be over preparing for this, but honestly, I don't remember what Whitney has. Oh, that hurt. I'm just getting them up to goo level. And if I find something, I can worry about that later. Yes. Yes. Okay. It's 2 more. 4 more levels, 2 more puppets. Splash Woman. I don't really know what Splash Woman is. I mean, I can venture a guess what Splash Woman is. She's a woman. Shocker. But like, kind of an avant-garde robot master, huh? So like, is there anything like remotely different about her, or is she just like, a female? Like, does she have any special ability, or like hitbox diff? Like, is there anything about her that is remotely different from a normal Mega Man boss, aside from the fact that she is a woman? Well, in actuality, she's a robot, so I guess you have to split hairs in that regard. But yeah, she's a mermaid. That's pretty cool. I mean, Centaur Man's a centaur. That was kind of cool, right? She's not the only one who gets 2 damage from a buster shot, right? Are there any bosses in the series that, while considered weak to the buster, are like not recommended to fight first? Because either their stage is bullshit or their boss fight is actually kind of fucking miserable, even if they are weak to the buster? Like, have you ever fought Doc Robot Quickman? I'm sure all of you astute Mega Man fans have fought Doc Robot Quickman. What a great fucking boss Doc Robot Quickman is. I like the part where he walks into you and does like a quarter of your max health. That's really cool, Doc Robot Quickman. Please do that again. Oh, I know you will. Because that's what you do. Not Quickman, Doc Robot Quickman. Specifically the Doc Robot version. That when he walks into you, you take 1,000 damage. Iceman and Electman do the same, that's correct. I can do this. I couldn't do it. Iceman and Electman do 8 ticks of damage to the player with like their special move, which is just, that's just fucking absurd, frankly. That's so much damage. Woodman's an asshole. Woodman's an asshole because he's annoying to dodge. Especially Doc Robot Woodman. Doc Robot Woodman is a massive piece of shit to dodge. Doc Airman is also a piece of shit to dodge. But you know what the real problem with Doc Airman is? Is that you don't get a checkpoint until after you beat him. So if you lose to him, you go back to the start of the Doc Robot stage. Man, that is just frustrating. That's what that is. Now I'm frustrated. Now I'm getting angry and I'm not even playing this fucking game. I've already played that game at least once. I played Rock Maiden, which does the same thing twice. Maybe Shadow Punch is better. Come on, Lyrica, get that last level. In the Saturn version of Mega Man 8, Woodman and Cutman appear as secret bosses. That's cool. I don't think I'm playing the Saturn version. Toxic gas. Cool. Yeah, sure. Give it a helping hand. I'll probably just play the Super Nintendo version. Why? Because the Super Nintendo setup is a lot easier to figure out than the Saturn setup. And now I'm hesitant to play anything on RetroArch because of what happened. Which, again, that's only happened once. I don't even know why that happened. Mega Man 8 was PS1. Sorry, sweetie. Mega Man 1 was GameCube because it was on the Legacy Collection. Bet you feel real fucking smart right now, don't you? Ooh, Mega Drain, which is not better than Leaf Blade. We don't need Mega Drain, we have Leaf Blade. Choppy. She has less physical attack, but Leaf Blade is just significantly stronger anyway. We're cutting Mega Man from Nintendo systems. Because they realized Mega Man's not a baby game anymore. The future of baby games was different. Mega Man was no longer considerable as a baby game. Castlevania? That's not a baby game. Castlevania's not a baby game. Chat, when did the era of baby game begin for the Super Nintendo? I misclicked. When did the era of baby game begin? Oh, well, that just killed her. Cool. Because, like, there's definitely a lot of games on earlier consoles that were designed to be quite difficult. But Nintendo consoles have a reputation for being easy games. But, like, well, maybe not Nintendo consoles, but Nintendo games. But when did games on Nintendo hardware start becoming, like, baby easy? At what point was it that games started, like, leaning more... Was it when games started having more content in general? So they no longer needed to plug the games up with frustration to keep you playing? Was it a matter of competition of games coming out, so they had to make games more accessible so you would stick with them and not give up and try another one? What was the era of video games where video gaming became, like, easier, I guess? I don't know the exact point in time that you can really mark, because the original Mario Bros. Is not an easy game. Sure, you can play that game really well and you can beat that game, but, like, that game's not very easy. The original Legend of Zelda, that game will kick your fucking ass if you don't know what you're doing. Like, that game just gives you a sword and tells you to leave. Then you leave, and sometimes you run into enemies who just fucking kill you, and it's like, oh shit. Even Link to the Past was not an easy game. That game had a ton of damage to you, and it was not very clear what you were doing most of the time either. So, like, early Zelda games were tough. Zelda 2 I skipped, but yeah, that one definitely counts as a tough game. I mean, the Lost Levels exist, and Lost Levels was considered so hard that they wouldn't even release it on its own in America. America only got it from the All-Star Collection. Super Mario Bros. 2, which technically wasn't a Mario game, mind you. Wait, are you all heart types? Because if you are, then Goo wins. Right? No! Goo doesn't win against heart types. She sucks against heart types. Uh-oh. What about early Kirby? Ow. Chat, what about early Kirby? I've never actually played early Kirby. I played Dreamland 3, but the thing about Dreamland 3 was that I played it with a weird control scheme that made it kind of awkward to do, like, D-pad input. So I don't know if that game was actually difficult, or it was just my control scheme making it more difficult than it needed to be. But otherwise, I assume Kirby games have never really been that hard, right? Has there ever really been a hard Kirby game? There's hard parts in Kirby games, for sure, but those actually kind of came later. Which is a little backwards what I'm talking about. What about Pokemon? Chat, was Pokemon Red a hard game? Was Pokemon Red and Blue a hard game? You have to think from the perspective of a child, not an adult. Hell, even as an adult, I think some of the level curves in that game get really stupid. You're always given an out to grind, of course, but, like, the level jump from Sabrina, Koga, to, like, Blaine, Giovanni to the Elite Four is insane. It's like 20 levels, bro. Like, you can put yourself in a position where all you have to do is from Koga onward, you can just beat, like, important trainers to Victory Road, right? So, like, Koga's best Pokemon is level 40 or something, right? And then in Silphco, your rival has, like, high 30s. Giovanni has high 30s. Sabrina has mid 40s. Sabrina has mid 40s. Blaine has 40 to 44. Giovanni has like 44 to 47. Your rival immediately has like 49 to 52. Victory Road drops below 50 again. Then Dugong, the first Elite Four, is level like 55. And then when you get to the end of the Elite Four, your rival has a level 67 starter. Like, that's 27 levels from Koga to the champion. which you can realistically break down within like 10 battles. 10 important story battles. You can go Koga, Blue, Giovanni 2, Sabrina, Blaine, Giovanni, Rival, Elite 4, and then, well, I guess that's more like 11 or 12. My point is, like, a lot of the areas you can grind or level up in Kanto stay around the same level. Cycling Road and the route between Lavender and Fuchsia, and then Silphco. But then there's like the water route. What? There's like the water route. There's no trainers in Seafoam. There's a couple trainers in the Pokemon Mansion. And there's Victory Road, of course, but... yeah, Kanto seems kind of like... Kanto kind of beats the levels up. Most of the opponents have garbage movesets, so you can still brute force as a kid somehow. That's true. You're not wrong about that. They do have some pretty bad movesets. Now, Colosseum, on the other hand... Colosseum also does that level bullshit. Where you get to the top of Welcome Tower, and the highest level is 47, and then you fight Nazgour, and he's got like level 55s, and then you beat him, and now you gotta fight Escade, and he's got level 60s. And that's all in the span of like 2 fights. It's like, what the hell is this? This shit's wild. Bruno has 2 Onyx. See, what I find interesting about Bruno is that he does have 2 Onyx, and I've heard the reason why is because he's some proto-Brock or something. I don't know the details. Point is, what I find interesting about Bruno is that there are 2 fighting types. There's 2 fighting types in Gen 1 that are absent from his team. And those 2 fighting types make up the entirety of Chuck's team. Chuck has 2 Pokemon. He has a Primeape and a Poliwrath. And that's who Bruno's missing. Bruno's missing Primeape and Poliwrath. And then in Gen 2, he still has a fucking Onyx, but he replaced one of them with Hitmontop. No Poliwrath, no Primeape. I think that says a lot about what the devs thought about Primeape and Poliwrath. That they looked at the guy who's supposed to be like, I'm the best trainer with fighting types. And they didn't give him the fighting types. Agatha had poison types, even though she's like Ghost, but I mean, to be fair, there's only 1 line of Ghosts. She's got 2 Gengars, which is illegal and competitive. Then again, so is 2 Onyxes. But like, I feel like if somebody said, can I use 2 Onyxes? You wouldn't look at them like, no, you can't. They're too strong. You'd be like, bro, you don't even want to use 1 Onyx. Like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Here comes the Barrier Dragonite. The Barrier Dragonite with unlimited PP is going to spam it. Mach Punch? That's actually a very good move. It's priority. We're gonna get rid of Karate Chop because Rock Smash is the same power. And the critical hit difference is like 4%, I think. Callan. Ellen is a bit of a defensive annoyance. I'm not really sure what Gen 1 wanted to do with a couple things, but for 151 Pokemon to exist in Gen 1, and only 3 of them to be a dragon, and 3 of them to be a ghost type, is pretty insane. But when you think about it, it does make those Pokemon very unique in an interesting way, right? Like, Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite are considered very rare Pokemon. And they're the only dragon types that exist. So they're very mythical in nature for that. And ghost types are a bit of an enigma type because in Silphco, like, you're actually dealing with real ghosts, right? But when you identify the ghosts, it turns out there are actually ghost-type Pokemon. So Ghastly, Gengar, and Haunter are all actual Pokemon, but they're the only types They're the only ghost-type Pokemon in existence, which makes them like anomalies of nature more than anything. I find that kind of fascinating to think about. Like, as generations went on and they made more, it was like, okay, so this is more of a traditional type of Pokemon at this point. Sure, I get it. But... Ow. In Gen 1 specifically, like, those types that were very uncommon. Because a lot of the Pokemon types, they were just based on creatures, right? Creatures and, like, natural elements. Psychic types, they were psychics. Fighting types, they were martial artists. Electric types, electricity. Water, like, the types all make enough sense. They all make enough sense, don't they? But then ghost types is kind of weird. Dragon types is kind of weird too, because dragons don't really, dragons don't exist in real life. And ghost types, while technically, I guess you could say they exist in real life, the concept of them is more what exists. Same with dragons, right? So having such an anomaly of a Pokemon like that is pretty fascinating. Like, oh, look at these Pokemon that are like embodiments of just nature. And then you go to a graveyard town where there's dead people and dead Pokemon. And then you find ghost Pokemon. Is it supposed to imply that ghost Pokemon are dead Pokemon? But that's not actually what ghost Pokemon were, right? Retroactively, ghost Pokemon became just a type of Pokemon, but it seems like with Gengar, Ghastly, and Haunter, there was some kind of implication that those were not natural Pokemon. Those Pokemon came to exist through different means. Kind of like how Grimer only exists from human pollution, right? Grimer only exists from human pollution. I'm not even sure how Electrode exists. Electrode is an interesting one because it seems like it's a Pokemon that is man-made or some shit because it looks like a Pokeball, but then they went and made fucking Hisuian Electrode and Hisuian Voltorb, which just don't make any fucking sense at all. Let's be honest. They don't make any goddamn sense. Hisuian form of a Pokemon that looks like a Pokeball. They look like the Hisuian form of a Pokeball. Fuck out of here with that. Yamask are the ghosts of actual people. Yeah. Same with Phantom. Phantom is the spirit of a child who got lost in the forest. Thought gases were the soul of dead Pokemon. Well, why not? Marowak was a ghost. Marowak was a ghost and it turns back into a normal Marowak, right? Then you kill it and you put its soul to rest. And also all the channelers in the Lavender Tower are being controlled. They're all being controlled by like possessed by Ghastlies and Haunters, right? So like that's why these ghost type Pokemon are an enigma and kind of separate from everything else. But as I said, when Pokemon kind of moved on, they created more ghost types. It became a more natural thing. That would honestly explain why in Gen 2... In Gen 2, the only new ghost type is Mischievous. Because it's possible that at that point in time, they were still kind of thinking of ghost types as something, like, different. Power Trick, huh? Interesting. Dragon types, they added Kingdra. Oh! And I think that's it, right? Isn't Kingdra the only new dragon type in Gen 2, or am I confusing? Am I forgetting someone? Because Claire has 3 Dragonairs and a Kingdra, and Lance has 3 Dragonites, a Charizard, Aerodactyl, and Gyarados. So yeah, Kingdra is the only new dragon type. So I would wager that yes, in Gen 5, or in Gen 2, there was still kind of that idea that dragons were really, really, really rare. But a Kingdra is an interesting circumstance because it's a Seadra with a dragon scale that becomes a dragon, right? Staying in and I'm punching this child. But then in Gen 3, they made Shuppet / Bayonet, they made Duskull, Dusclops, Sableye. And for dragon types, they got Salamence, Shelgon, Bagon. Like, it's neat to note that the pseudo-legendary in Gen 2 isn't a dragon type. It's kind of neat. Flygon, Altaria, Vibrava. So they added more, like, less, they made the dragons a little less mythical, I suppose. Just a little less mythical. But still, like, mythical. But in Gen 1 and 2, the dragon type was very, very, like, very rare. It was a very, very rare type. Well, Metagross is a pseudo-legendary, isn't he? I'm pretty sure Metagross counts as a pseudo-legendary. I think some generations do have two. But yes, every generation does have a pseudo-legendary that's a dragon type, except Gen 2. Because Salamence is a pseudo-legendary, Garchomp is a pseudo-legendary. Haxorus or Hydreigon is a pseudo-legendary, I don't remember. Goodra, believe it or not, is a pseudo-legendary. It's not a very good one, but Goodra is in fact a pseudo-legendary, because what qualifies you as a pseudo-legendary is not how strong you are, it's what your BST is. Your BST has to be 600 or above to be considered a pseudo-legendary. Haxorus is 550. Then it's probably Hydreigon, right? But Hydreigon is kind of like a mixed attacker, isn't he? Unless I'm forgetting someone from Gen 5. The official name for pseudo is Powerhouse Pokemon. That is lame as shit. Because Slacking would technically be considered a pseudo-legendary, but based on its stat line. But does anybody actually refer to Slacking as a pseudo-legendary? Like, seriously, does anyone refer to Slacking as a pseudo-legendary? He's got the stats, but he doesn't have the aura, you know? He doesn't have the chops to be a pseudo-legendary. Slacking has legendary stats. You know, that's probably what it is. He does have legendary stats. Hi, I'm Whitney. Alright. Who was the pseudo-legendary of Gen 7, chat? Was that Como? That was Como, right? Gen 9 was Baxcalibur. What was Gen 8's pseudo-legendary? Dragapult. Oh, yeah! Right, I forgot Dragapult was Gen 8. That Pokemon's pretty iconic. They're all heart types, so they're all weak to faith. Thankfully, this is a good matchup. She's got 4 puppets. Damn. Oh, that did no damage. That's alright, she didn't do damage either. Okay, she can only hit me with moves I'm resistant to. Are you kidding me, Guya? Why do you just get confused all the time? Why? Oh, you do more damage to yourself than she does to you. Hisuian Goodra is a pseudo. Is Hisuian Goodra's BST any different? Isn't it just that stats are allocated differently, but it's the same BST? Wish I had Recover. Oh my god. I'm losing the 1v1 to something that can do 3 damage to me at a time. Use a potion, bitch. Don't confuse me again. A critical hit! Alright. Horrendous matchup. Crayson. Honestly, I think I stay in. I think Guya is actually pretty good in this gym. It just so happened that she lost like half her health to a fucking horrendous matchup. Oh, right. I forgot. I'm weak to that type. Oh, we got her. We can live one more and we can get her. Why did you die? Guya, why did you die? I don't understand. Why did you die? You could have lived. Not stab, don't care. 12 damage. Sweep kick. Glurp number 1, baby. Shimmy. I'm staying in. Power trick into my physical attack right now, bitch. Power trick right now. Yeah. Right into my physical attack. Watch out! You're alive? Wait. That's bad. I'm dead. Never mind, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Alright. Good job, Glurp. You are fighting for your spot on this team. See Dormy. I'm staying in, bro. I ain't losing, you hear? Watch this. You think a yawn's gonna stop me? Psywave. Hey, I have a question. Did you adjust how Psywave works? I'm curious because you simplified all the move descriptions, but like Psywave is not a move you can simplify its description for. Psywave is a fucking mess of a move that I'm wondering if you even bothered to like do anything with it or if you just changed it to set damage. Metronome. Oh, I love me some Metronome. It's vanilla. Can you please explain how vanilla Psywave works then? Please explain how vanilla Psywave works. Did 15 that time. Does anyone know why? How much will it do this time? It almost killed me. And Glurp walks away. El Campione. Ugh. You meanie. Oh no, you made Whitney cry. Give me my fucking badge. Well, that was easy. All I needed was Glurp. And you guys wanted Glurp off the team. Can you believe that shit? They're over here parading for the downfall of Glurp. But what did Glurp just do? Glurp just fucked up that entire gym basically on her own. Well, very small, unneeded help from Booyah. Yeah. Is Psywave's damage random? Or does it calculation? Oh. Yeah. Sure does. There's an odd tree that dances when you water it. Just keep the damn squirt bottle. What do you think the odd tree is, chat? What do you think the odd tree is? You think it's random, or you think it's gonna be whatever the fuck it's supposed to be? Seems like gift Pokemon are pretty static from this randomizer. Not sure if that's the case for all of them, but it was the case for the eggs. And I know I've randomized the eggs in another one that I've done before. But honestly, the eggs not randomizing is the only reason we have goo right now, so like, I can't complain. Well, I mean, I can, but I should probably not complain, because if I did, we wouldn't have goo. And if we didn't have goo, then we would have had 6.5 hours of our lives back. But we would have been gooless. You know, that's a pretty important distinction to make. Alright, so the leveling wasn't necessary, but it's nice that everybody's kind of caught up. We're getting close to the level ups. We are getting close to the level up evolutions, which once we kind of hit the level up evolution, I'll figure out how I want to shard them, and I'll come back to Goldenrod and I'll buy the appropriate shards. I don't remember who it is in vanilla is the thing, but like if it's randomized, then it could be anything, right? I don't know how randomized the static Pokemon really are. Can you believe I released so many goo into the wild and I haven't seen a single goo aside from my own? How did that happen? Oh, this is Route 36. This is a new route. So we're gonna check this route for grass. But it's quicker to check the route or have access to Ecruteak before I do that anyway. So we'll get to Ecruteak first. Because Ecruteak has a few places we can check as well, like the Burnt Tower, and we can see our next shiny hunt. There's an odd tree. Use the squirt bottle. The odd tree doesn't like the squirt bottle. Okay. Oh, you know, that makes sense. I didn't really consider it would be a Mamizo. So yeah, it's not random. She's nature illusion. Or, wait. Ow, bitch! She's nature beast. How do you like that, fucker? Get gooed. That's fun. Thanks. You can grow any berry from any region with no worries. So this is how they, because the apricots exist in this place, so this is how they get you to actually make berries. I don't remember this mechanic, like, at all. And by that I mean I don't remember ever using it. I can't get a surf here, which is a great move to gain access to. I just don't know if I have anybody that can learn it. Signal beam. That's pretty good. Do you think any of my puppets can learn surf? No. Not a single one of my puppets can learn surf. Trainer tips. Oh my god. Alright. Sorry, Goo, you're like critically injured. Time for the fat lasses to win. We have to hunt for shiny surf. Well, we don't have to, but the fact of the matter remains that we don't have access to surf. We have an Itori in the box. We do have an Itori in the box, but that's it. Oh. Normally these guys got... I like how the shiny effect kind of bugs out when you throw out two shinies. I'm pretty sure in Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, if you encounter two shinies at the same time, your game crashes. I don't know if it does that when you send out two shinies in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, but I'm pretty sure, yes, your game crashes if you run into two shinies at the same time. Which is only really a real risk if you're doing the cute charm bug, which lets you, like, basically drastically alter your shiny chances. Alright, we'll get through them eventually. Hidden power. Look, it's my favorite character. How about a caramel? I could use some sugar. Good. Yeah. I just hope it doesn't crash if I send two out. You're alive? Oh my god, they have more. Dude. Helping hand? That's annoying. Good old Werther's original. What a battle. You know, I think it's funny to think about Pokemon that got, like, retroactively got their types adjusted. Because I remember there was an episode in the Pokemon anime. There was an episode in the Pokemon anime where a Wigglytuff stands up against, like, a Hydreigon or something. Some big dragon type. And it gets, like, Draco Meteored and it just fucking stands there. And then all the characters are like, oh yeah, right, Wigglytuff is like a fairy type, so she's immune to dragon moves. And it's really stupid when you see it in context. Because the concept of a Pokemon like being immune to a type is something already, right? But with fairy types, it's literally just like, hey, here comes a giant meteor. Oh no! But it's got draconic elements to it. Oh, no worries then. Like, for some reason, that meteor being dragon in nature means that if it hits you and you're a fairy type, you just don't feel it. You just don't feel it. Like, earthquakes don't affect people in the air. That makes sense. You can't poison steel. That makes sense. It's not biological. You can't poison it. You can't electrify the ground. Makes enough sense. You know? You can't punch a ghost. I guess a ghost can't punch you back either. Point is, those immunities mostly make sense. But then fairy immunity to dragon is just like, dragon types are really good. We need to stop that from being the case anymore. And in the anime, Wigglytuff just fucking like, she just fucking aura farms on like a Draco meteor. And it's like, whoa. Oh, it's Billiam. Hey, bud. You're Jupe, you know who. Girl in it from Holland made the all over the world working to improve the puppet trade systems. Yep. Take this! Roar of time. Dialga roars so loud that it fractures the state of time. Oh, sorry, I'm a Togepi, buddy. Sorry, brother. I forgot to tell you, I'm a fairy type. So, as a Togepi, your roar that destroys the fabric of space-time doesn't actually do anything to me. Sorry, brother. I know. I know. It feels bad, but you get over it. You get over it. Player was affected by dragon type per Gen 6, but immune starting and just changed the fairy type. The logic is that he forgot. It's the same reason why Magnemite got poisoned, and one day he was like, wait a minute. And then stopped being poisoned. Haven't you ever had one of those days where you just woke up and you're like, oh, I don't feel that good. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm dead. And then you can't not feel like anything anymore. So then you stop not feeling good because you're already dead. You ever had one of those days? You know what really sucks? Is I actually woke up at like a really good time today. But I went back to bed because I had a headache. A really bad headache. So I took pills and I went back to bed and then I woke up at the usual time. That happened a few times to me now. I keep waking up with a bad headache and then I can't actually like be awake. It's really frustrating. Cease this. You just gonna keep clicking detect? You're gonna run out eventually. Scrappy appear in the anime? I don't think so. I actually don't know. I want to say it did, but I actually couldn't tell you. Scrappy's not that rare, but it is a pretty relevant ability. Dude, this Beacrodin is wasting my fucking time. Why do they all know Psywave? You want to know moves that don't appear very often in the anime? Psychic type moves. In the original series, Confusion was considered a really powerful move because you just fucking used it and levitated motherfuckers. And Psychic was the same thing. But Psychic and Confusion aren't used very often at all in the anime. In fact, I don't know what psychic techniques are used the most in the anime to begin with. I would assume Psybeam because it's at least a beam. Hmm. I don't know if Torrent or Overgrow appeared in the anime, but Blaze was a big part of the Gen 4 anime, because that was what Ash's Chimchar. Ash's Chimchar had a really effective Blaze. That's why Paul wanted it in the first place. But then it couldn't draw out the power of its Blaze, so he ditched it. And then Ash took it in. And then Ash evolved it, and it gained control, mastery of its Blaze. Very cool, actually. I just think that some abilities and moves don't translate well into like a visual format. That's all. Some Pokemon don't transfer well either, like Porygon and Porygon and Porygon. Well, to be fair, Porygon wasn't allowed to be, he wasn't allowed to exist anymore after, you know, he got hit with a, he got hit with a world-shattering controversy. Poor guy. They'll never let him live it down. Poor Porygon, dude. It's cool they made the Pokemon hold the Mega Stones in Gen 6. Well, to be fair, they do have to hold the Mega Stones, like, to do that. But some trainers actually had, like, accessories made for them to have the Mega Stones on them. I also like that some of the trainers had unique, look at the sparkle effect. Oh, they came out too late from each other. We're gonna kill Alice. Some trainers have different, like, accessories for their keystones. Like, one had an earring. This is not the Alice I should have been using Dark-type moves on. Didn't really have hold items in the anime before. I think some of the band items appeared, right? Like the Focus Band or the Muscle Band or the Focus Sash. I think something like that appeared before. But held items are a bit of a rare occurrence because the Pokemon has to hold them, and then you have to question how the fuck the Pokemon is holding them. And, yeah. The, what do you call it? There's some Pokemon with the ability called Cheek Pouch, which I don't remember what Cheek Pouch does, but the idea of a Cheek Pouch is that, you know, they keep the food in their cheek so they can just eat it when they need it. You know, there's also an ability called Cud Chew. The fuck does that do? I think Tauros has it. I think what it does is it lets them, like, gain the effect of the berry they ate on last turn or something. I don't remember. So what does Cheek Pouch do? Tauros is the only Pokemon I know that has Cud Chew. I assume other Pokemon like Tauros, like, what would you call them? I don't know. I don't even know what you call them. Dude, this Alice is fucking me up. Cheek Pouch restores 33% of the Pokemon's maximum HP when it consumes a berry. Oh, so it's basically a citrus berry tacked on. It's basically a citrus berry tacked on to whatever your berry's effect is. Hey, you know what? Mirror Shot's pretty good. Pargoo. Pargoo. Alright, very good, very good. We're still on about 36, right? No, we're on about 37. Oh shit, Route 36 and 37 are like right next to each other. Alright, let's check them both. I'll call Goo. Farrah Giraffe has Cudshoe. Farrah Giraffe also has Armor Tail. Wow. Talk about a fucking ability discrepancy. I know it makes sense conceptually for the Pokemon, but like, that motherfucker got Armor Tail, dude. Good abilities? Well, they're not, I don't even say it's a good ability, it's just not a bad ability. Alright, let's check Route 36. Ready? What's in the encounter table in this route? Kudami. Chen. Kudami again. Is this it? That's it? This is the only puppet. Kutaka's here, okay. Kudami at like 80%. Oh, and Ellie. Kudami, Ellie, Chen. That was a loud noise. And Kutaka. Oh, is that really it? Surely there's one more in here, right? I want to know if there's one more. If I were to use this grass, I would probably find a Kudami. Almost assuredly, it would be a shiny Kudami. Kutaka learned Surf. I know Kutaka learned Surf. I am 90% sure Kutaka learned Surf. Oh, and Tojiko. Okay. Fascinating encounter table. I will now leave. Stop calling me. Alright, who's in this grass? Aya. I like Aya. Mistia. I like Mistia. And Cherno. That it? That can't be it, right? Cherno can learn Surf, but Cherno's a physical attacker. Is that it? 3 puppets? That's it? Come on, give me one more. Bro, I was like 5%! What is this? Oh my god, it's just Cherno and Mistia. It's just Cherno and Mistia, bro. Where's the variety? I'm gonna... 5 more. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. 1. This grass is insane. Dude, why did Sprout Tower have like 7 different fucking puppets? And Ecritique's got like 3. Hold on, let's go get Surf. Let's see what areas I can like look at right now. Tell me you don't respect what the customer wants? I'll show you how to dance. Wahahaha. What's the deal with that Team Rocket grunt? Please help her. Young people. Oh, he slowed down. You dare get in my way? This guy got dizzy. He got dizzy. So in the original game, you gotta fight all 5 what's-her-fucks. But that gets moved to a later part of the game. And here you just have to fight this rocket grunt. This is probably the easiest surf to get in the entire series. It's quite a powerful move to get your hands on by the 4th gym anyway. But for alligator's a physical attacker, so you are restricted a little bit on that. As to what like water types you can have at this point, you could have Gyarados, physical attacker. You could have Quagsire, I guess. Quagsire's not really anything, is he? You could have a Slowpoke. Dratini. Dratini the water type. That one? The water type, Dratini. Sure about that? I'm gonna reconsider. Poliwag, you could have Poliwag. If you're getting Politoed, special's fine. You're probably not getting Politoed. You get Slowpoke, I think. I'm pretty sure you can get Slowpoke in the well without having access to Surf. Pargoo! What a name, streamer. Your naming sense never ceases to surprise me, Hedgehog. Doesn't it, though? Are you always so curious to see what name I will give and bless my puppet with? You get it immediately after beating Norman and Emerald. Norman has a level 36 Slacking. You gotta beat a level 36 Slacking for that. That's pretty hard. Oh no, you make me look like a villain. You must be Jupe. That's me, Jupe. Here, take this. What if I can learn it? I bet Luis. Dow Dow! I was supposed to be the hero. Yeah, fucking twit. Wait, what if Goo can surf? I bet Goo can surf. It's one of her hidden talents. Watch. A basic attack. What? Unbelievable. Signal Beam is a 90 power heart move. Well, that is way fucking better than whatever the fuck I was doing before. Pargoo can do it. That's better than Mirror Shot. Mirror Shot sucks. This is the only move I was attacking people with Satori with. Alright. Now I can fire signal beams. I'm gonna melt this with my Sulfur Vision. Hold on. Nobody can dig either? God damn it, dude. Can my Pokemon do fucking anything? Okay. Goo is holding something. Would you like to take it? No. Goo is so happy! Wow! A little tired. Well, let's get you fixed up. Let's get you fixed right up. Give me that, damn it. You can't rip it out of their hands. It's theirs. They've earned it. Yes. Maximum. Okay, so we have a couple places we can check. We have Mount Mordor, which is actually a lot of places to check. Which I might hold off on because of the different layers to it. But I can at least go over there. I think. I think maybe that this game does something that tells me I'm not allowed to come over here. Shadow hit. That's pretty good. Okay. Ow. Oh boy, sorry I hurt you. Please don't cry. And this is where you get strength. This is not where you get strength originally. Normally you get it in Olivine. What's the Tyrogue equivalent? Oh. You think anybody knows what you get for the fighting guy? Fighting guy is a bitch. You go all the way up Mount Mordor and you beat him and he's like, I'll give you a puppet. Sorry, you don't have room in your party, so I guess you won't. 10% chance to attack +1. Wait, Goo can do it. I think Goo will do it. You don't need Hal. Goo is strong. And Shadow Hit, I think, is probably like Shadow Claw. Yep, Shadow Claw, which is probably better with Lunasa right now anyway. Oh, but Goo can learn it too. Shit, man. Do I need a Ghost type move? It would be very helpful for Morty. Leech Life is 40 base power. Knockoff is 50. So yeah, I don't need Leech Life. I guess I don't need Ember realistically, but like Ember's still decent coverage. So this way I have some options against Morty. Dark's not good against it doesn't do anything against Ghost types, but Ghost does. Alright, so there's a little bit of Mount Mordor we can walk around in. There's a Peekaboo. You don't need Surf to get to the other side. But Bird! Bird! Are there different floors to it? Miko. Oh, cool. Okay. I don't know if I should be in here right now. Putting me again. Oh, great. Here comes the Kurumi Cave. And Star. Star can surf, I think. I'm not losing this time? I don't think I should be in here. I think I should come back later. 24! Oh god, I should go. Oh, I should go. Being here is ill-advised. Heater dance, really? Ow. Ow! This is unfortunate. I'm alive. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I really needed that burn. Fuck off. It's alright, I got it. We're good, we're good. Panic is unnecessary. Hit that leech seed. Yeah, Gooby. Alright, the timer has started. That might hurt. I need to leave this cave. I am not supposed to be here right now, dude. Oh, never mind, that did 7. That did 7. Oh, don't do that. Bagooby! You must recover. You must recover. What are you doing? I've never seen something like this before. Oh, dude. Okay. Did he have another one? Yeah, he did, didn't he? Look at me. Okay, that one's killable with Leaf Blade. Die. Activate, die. You didn't die. I mean, I won't die to that, even if it's neutral. Am I still faster than you? I am. Hassan Chop! Okay, I'm leaving now. I lost to some kid. This karate guy wanted to battle. He was ridiculously good. He just thrashed me silly. Okay. I don't know what you need to actually do that, to be honest with you. Like, don't you need waterfall to reach the karate master? Or am I just, like, misremembering the path? There's a pretty good amount of things in here. Room 1 here is Tori and Miko. That's kind of cool. I don't want a Tori, though. I can't. There's also grass outside. Oh, I'll have to take a look at it, I guess. What we got? I could buy a couple. It doesn't hurt to be a little better prepared. What about bonus balls? What about bonus balls? What do you got? Blue flute. $75,000! Wow. Shit. Must be some nice glass. I mean, I could buy it, but like, I don't want to buy it. That's kind of the important thing there. I don't want to buy it. All right. You know, I find this really neat. This is like the only gym in the entire series that I can think of where you are blocked from entering it until you do something, but the blockade is inside the gym, not outside the door. So like every other gym, when there's someone in the way, they're standing in front of the door. But in this gym, you walk inside and the dude's like, no. And he kicks you out. Like, okay. What's that about? Why is it so different? Okay. Well, thankfully, the Moo Moo Farm. So here's Route 38, boys. Let's see, Route 38's got Lily White. Okay, that's promising. Komachi, that's also promising. Anything else? Komachi and Lily White. Is that it? And Kotohime. I already have a Kotohime. Hold on. There's actually another route that this connects to, so we'll check this properly when we get access to that route. Oh, and Doremi. Okay, wait a minute. This grass is kind of poggy. Alright, okay, alright. It's kind of poggy. Alright. So I think what we should do now, we can make advancements on this route. Because, like I said, there's another route that connects between Olivine and here by the ranch, and that would be like double grass, so we can check like that. Morty's ace is level 24, so I could use the levels anyway. Harry. Chat, I'll be right back. I need to pee, but I also want to drink some apple juice. So, see you in a moment. Whoa. Oh, I killed it in one shot. Alright, I am now healthy. I have consumed product. And I have expunged product. Now, we begin the game. Again. I like Mioi's noise. That's about all I can say about Mioi. Toxic gas is better than poison tears. I have like 3 Pokemon on this team that know poison moves right now. It's pretty good. Chieri. Water type. She has a gun. Yes. Very glurp. I'm waiting for the final chapter of Lotus Eaters where Mioi goes, "Goodbye, everyone," and disappears. And I'll be like, damn, perhaps he wasn't such a bad character after all. Streamer, what? Well, you know, when characters, like, die, you kind of remember them a little more favorably than when they continue to exist. Depending on how they are, you know? Like, haven't you ever felt like some characters are a little more endearing because they died and you didn't have to deal with them as much? Like, what about that guy from JoJo's? You know, the fat guy? The guy that they, that was created specifically so Kira could kill him? That guy. I mean, that guy isn't endearing at all. I think he's, I didn't give a shit about him at all, but, like, my point is, like, characters like that become more endearing when you put them through the ringer of life. Because it's like, oh man, now I feel something because they're dead. But you didn't actually, if they were still alive, be like, man, I fucking hate this character. But you feel some sort of sympathy towards the fact that they're not alive anymore. And it improves your opinion of them as a character because they didn't exist anymore. Those types of characters. You know when, you know how, have you ever played Danganronpa? Have you ever played Danganronpa? You know how that game usually goes? Is that you see the whole cast of characters, and as you get further into the game, you find out which characters are completely fucking useless and only survive for comic relief. And it reaches a point where you just don't like those characters anymore because they don't do anything. They just annoy you by cutting in and thinking they're funny, and it's like, yeah, okay, alright, let's get back to the plot now. But some characters who don't make it to later chapters, you're like, man, that character is pretty cool. I wish they were still around. I don't want to play a full game with the chef. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm not talking about the first case, guys. I'm talking, like, because the first case characters are usually designed in a way where they're not very likable or you care that much anyway. But further characters get more depth and they grow more on you. And then when some of those ones die, you're like, no, no, say it ain't so. No. But then you're stuck on, like, the last case and there's, like, 6 people left alive. And there's, like, one guy who's only alive to cut in to the main plot every now and again and say something stupid so everybody could just go, like, share some items with me? Yeah, please. Thanks, ma'am. Does that make me sound ungrateful? I don't care because I'm the one benefiting. Alright. Let me try something I learned today. Chakure. It's not about who lives. It's not about who dies. But you, like, can you think of a character, chat, that you thought while you were playing the game, you were like, man, this character's kind of annoying, and then they die, and then your memory of the character is like, oh, actually, I remember him positively. Do you? Do you remember him positively because he died? What if he lived? Would you just be like, fuck you? Like, what about Fire Emblem? What about Fire Emblem characters? There's probably tons of Fire Emblem characters that are basically jokes. And they live because you don't use them. But have you ever tried using them and then they die and you're like, no! Wait! You ate all my EXP, you bitch! Don't die now! What happened to Dorcas? Dorcas got the money for fighting the war and he bought the medicine to cure his sick wife. That's what happened to Dorcas. I have your phone number. We can talk about Professor Oak. No. God, no. Did he eat some strange mutton? You're telling me Dorcas died on poisoned mutton? Who the fuck would poison mutton? Huh? There's no way that happened. You're not telling me his ending is that he ate poisoned muffin. Come on now. That can't be real. You're just fucking with me. Shadow hit, because you should be a ghost type. Damn. That's from the FE7 commercial. Brother, the FE7 commercial came out when I was like 4. We can't be serious. That you think I saw the commercial to FE7? Come on. Come on, what channel would I have even seen that on? Yuka and her red eyes. There they are. Ow. Ah! Okay. Cartoon Network? Sorry, I'm Canadian. I don't have Cartoon Network. That's not on public cable. I had Teletoon! And YTV! Why am I dying? Burn. Alright, I'm out. I'm heading the fuck out. The dev fixed it. Dev fixed it. Dev commented on it. He gave Yuka her eyes back. Her Sharingan is back. See, all it takes is throwing a massive hissy fit, like a child, to get what you want. Pay no attention to the fact that I'll be 30 in a month. Literally 2 months from now, I'll be 30 years old. Great. Ready for it. Staying in. That means in 2 months, Touhoumon Soccer returns. Oh boy, 2 months, boys. 2 months, we're gonna have a big soccer exhibition. Well, actually, I'm wondering how I'm gonna do it. I've done a bracket that was single elimination, and it was about 6 hours. And then I did a bracket that was double elimination, and it took probably 13 hours. So, yeah. I'd like to do double elimination because it's more fun. It's more fun. Because there's more chances for teams to be put together to have more than one opportunity to play. But it will be longer. So it's either we have a 9-hour stream or we break up the season. Which I'd rather break up the season like I did with Rivals. I think it's probably better because we can, like, realistically, the best matches, quote unquote, are still gonna be random. Some of the best, like every single match that we have is going to be potentially like the best match possible. With humans, with the way seeding works with humans, and I guess to an extent with artificial, but in this case, with humans, you seed in a way that the better players don't really play until they get further in the bracket. So the better matches are the ones that you get to closer in the end because you're getting the most experienced players versus the most experienced players. With AI, depending on how many the tools you're giving them, of course, it's not going to be the same. So a round one could be like a grand finals type of match. That's really exciting. Now, obviously, the hype of it being grand finals is an aspect to it as well. But my point is that every match, regardless of what position in the bracket it takes place in, is capable of being a very good match. The only thing I ever really hope for when I do these types of things is that the grand finals match isn't a massive fucking blowout. Because that is when it gets depressing. When grand finals is a fucking wash, it's like watching everybody's excitement just flatline. It's like, oh man, it's like it's 6-0 in the first half. It's 6-0 in the first half. So what we did as well, so we made the tournament take a long time, and you know why? Because we made both teams play 2 games. Here's what we did. So the way it works in Touhou Soccer is that player 1 has an advantage, and player 2 does not. Well, obviously, player 2 doesn't have the advantage. Okay, let me do that again. Player 1 has the advantage because player 2 is bugged to not recover guts properly. So whoever's playing on the player 2 side is at a disadvantage. So what we did, in the interest of fairness, was we ran 2 games. We ran 2 games. Both teams would be player 1 side, and both teams would be player 2 side. And we combined the scores from both games to determine the winners. That's how we did it. Combining that with a loser's bracket, we will actually be playing Touhou Soccer forever. Which may or may not be what the people want. But that is the case. The rival CPU tournament. 18 instead of 24. Quality CPU is a lot higher. Excellent. Okay, I don't know when we're gonna do that, but having that ready would be great. Having that ready would be great. I still also have, Chad, I still have one more part of that fucking whack-ass Mugen collection that I did back on Christmas. I did it on Christmas and New Year's, and I still have one more part's worth out of that one of characters we didn't see. So I'm holding that one for a special occasion. I don't know when it's coming, but we got that. We got Touhou Soccer coming up. We'll have a Rivals tournament. Rumi Dev just include the CPU to the actual character. Oh, really? Cool. I'm curious to see how some characters will fight. So, do you know what characters we're using? Because I know we have a couple new ones. I know since the last tournament, Oku, Suako, Yamame, and I think someone else released. But I know we're not doing Sumireko. Sumireko's not coming back. She has not been re-invited. I'm going to kill her. She's not coming back. Nobody wants to watch Sumireko. Least of all me. No, sir. Not me. Not me. Give me that. Who do we have anyway? Like, what characters weren't engaging? Nitori was pretty dumb. That is true. I won't deny that. Nitori was pretty dumb. She just threw shit and it worked because the AI has no concept of, like, blocking or dodging. She only won because she could just fucking throw things full screen and the AI just took it. Now, if Fumo-Rei-sen was in the game, oh boy. A puppet Dex. My name is Baba Baba Ba. Sumireko was really bad because she just kind of spammed smash attacks and her smash attacks were really stupid. Yuma killed herself 6 times and destroyed her bracket. Like, plain and simple, Yuma failed. She dived off the stage. Same with Orin, actually. Orin just kind of dive bombed off stage and killed herself a bunch of times. Drain Punch is pretty legit. The AI can now actually predict and parry not only projectiles but attacks too. That's awesome. By the way, I don't want to let Fumo race it into the tournament because I don't know if you know this, but that character is absolutely fucking brain dead stupid. Alright. Fumo Racing is an affront to God. Now, it probably didn't look like that when you were watching her. It probably didn't look that way when you were watching her, but in actuality, that character is bonkers stupid. Her up smash kills you at like 90. Her down air kills you at like 90 off the top. Like, her hitboxes and kill power are ridiculous. That character is actually really stupid, but it was surprisingly okay because she wasn't like competent. She was intentionally made incompetent. They trained her wrong as a joke, but if she wasn't trained wrong, you would realize that she does just kill things by accident. That character is dumb. Hatate. That'll be fun. Well, that'll be in the future. What? I don't know when we're gonna run that. It's not ready yet, of course, but once the characters are ready. Once the characters are ready. Because we had 24 last time, you said, right? And the fact that we're adding more, but we're adding different characters, but we're removing 6 of them. Like, I have a feeling I know that I have a couple ideas of who's getting removed. But, like, there's a few that there's only, like, one that I can immediately think of that, like, I don't want. And that is, without a doubt, that is Sumireko. Mamizo, Mistia, Suako, Fumoreisen, Moko, Koishi, Nitori, Orin, Reimu, Yuto, Rumiya, Seija, Tenshi, Wriggle, Yuma, Yomu, Utso, and Yamame. So Reisen's the only Fumo? No Fumo Sakuya? I would like Fumo Sakuya in there. Fumo Sakuya is pretty funny. She's pretty funny. Fumo Rain was pretty funny too. What about Sakuya as well? Like regular Sakuya. Why is she getting cut? Was she not good? I thought she was cool. I don't remember how she performed in the tournament though. Yeah, I noticed that Sakuya is missing. Sakuya and Marissa are missing, but Marissa was okay. I'd have to double check. I think you could probably replace Wriggle. You could probably replace Wriggle because Wriggle's a little simple. Wriggle's a little bit simple. She is kind of she's kind of a smash attack fiend. And that's kind of the character I want to avoid. I don't want the character to just kind of be like spamming smash attacks like Sumireko. I'm a little worried about Nitori as well because of that. And I'm curious about Yomu. I'm curious about Yomu because I know what Yomu can do and I know what Yomu is supposed to do. And if the AI is doing what Yomu is supposed to do, she's not going to be very fun to watch. I can promise you that. She is not going to be fun to watch. The others, I don't see any real issue with. I'm curious to see how the AI takes advantage of them. Like, Moko's cool. I think Moko's cool. Koishi's funny. Orin, I want to see Orin work. I want to see Yuma work. Yuto's cool. I remember her. Rumiya's great. Sage is unique. I want to see her. Suako's new. Mamizo is actually very interesting to watch. Mistia was cool. Maybe we can add like 2. I'm just curious because you saw when I streamed it with Andrew, right? Like you saw when I streamed it with Andrew what Yomu was doing. That is ideal Yomu. That is ideal Yomu. And if the AI knows how to do that consistently, then we're not going to have a very good match to watch. If the AI does not do that, then it may be a little more interesting to watch. But if the AI knows its win con and only plays to its win con, then it's gonna be a Sumereko type of deal where we're just gonna watch her do the same thing and we're just gonna hope that she fucks up and loses so we don't have to watch her do it anymore. It is a bit of a shame, but it is the act. That's the truth of it. Is we want the characters to be fun to watch. It's not that we don't want to see them do kill confirms, is that we don't want to see them only do one confirm ever. Nerf or change your actual character. If you could. The biggest issue that I take with her as a character, realistically, is that pretty much all of her moves just combo into the sweet spot of that move and just kill you off the top at 70. Like, it's not that the move doesn't need to kill you, it's that she has so many options that true combo into it from, like, any percent. And it's like I said, you get hit by it enough times and it's less of a, oh, that's awesome, and more like, alright, okay, I guess we're doing that again. We could just add 2 more characters, can't we? Do we have to replace? Oh, the shards are here for money. Okay. Can't we just, what do you call it? Can't we just add the characters? Like, I mean, I do want to replace Wriggle. So we can replace Wriggle with Sakuya, and we can just add Fumo Sakuya and Fumo Reimu, right? That makes, what, 20? Yomu has a secret mechanic where after hitting a sword attack, she will do an animation, and if you press on the correct moment, she gets an unavoidable attack. What? What? That sounds like bullshit. That sounds like bullshit. How does that even work? I've never seen that, so I don't know. But we can make it 20. We don't have to add them all back, but I feel like we're cutting Sakuya for no real reason. And I don't like, didn't Marissa have an exciting match? Hold on. Didn't Marissa have an exciting match? Or am I misremembering? I seem to recall Marissa having a pretty good match. Am I forgetting a character? I don't think so. Workshop characters, the animation where she spins and then sheaths her sword. Oh. Workshop characters are usually a bundle of, they're usually a bundle of, like, shit. You know? They are usually a bundle of shit. But you can't, not all of them can be perfectly balanced, of course. But I don't like characters that are very, I don't like characters that are very, like, not exciting or engaging or only do one thing. Remove Wriggle, add Fumo Sakuya, and Marissa. What about Fumo Reimu? Is Fumo Reimu bad? Can we add Fumo, Reimu, and Morshu? And then we have an even number. Or is Morshu too strong? Morshu's AI is actually pretty legit. He is actually pretty legit. He might actually just fucking clean up. He might just clean up house. Just add everyone back? Well, no, because I don't want Sumireko and I don't think we need Wriggle. But at that point, I'm not sure who else is missing, right? I'm not sure who else is missing at that point. Remilia. Oh, I forgot about Remilia. Did Remilia suck? Chat, does anyone remember Remilia's match? I don't remember Remilia's match. At all. What a shame. She doesn't do anything special. Oh, so she's like Wriggle? She's like Wriggle, I guess. Oh. Holy shit on a shit sandwich. We don't have to add them all back. Get in there, Guya. She's the one that fought Moko. Oh, I remember that one. That was on the Scarlet Devil level, tower level, and she like Moko was like 300% and won that game. Too simple a character. Alright, okay, alright. That's fine. That's fine, that's fine. We missing anyone else? I don't think so. I don't think we're missing anyone else, right? But if we add Marissa, Fumo Reimu, and Fumo Sakuya, and we switch Wriggle for Sakuya, we need one more person. We're adding up. Do you want to add Derma? Derma versus Toho. I mean, could be interesting. Doesn't that put us as an odd number again, though? I mean, if we had an odd number, we could just give Nitori a bye. Since she's the champion, she would just have a bye in the first round. But I'd rather not have any buys. I'd rather just have an even. Right? Like, we could add more Shu and Germa, but I don't want to get too crazy with it, right? I don't want to get too ridiculous. It is supposed to be Toho, but the thing is, Morshu appeared in the finale, remember? Didn't Morshu fuck up Nitori? Like, if I remembering that correctly, Nitori got absolutely fucked up by Morshu. So does your AI live up to Morshu? Can your AI defeat Morshu? He's the shadow champion of the tournament. He could beat every character in there, hands down. So we gotta bring him in, I guess, right? I mean, we can just call him Renosuke. Just make him, can you make him a Renosuke alt? Can you change his colors and just make him Renosuke? Can we do that? Just give him an additional palette that turns him into Renosuke. And we'll just call him Renosuke. That'll work. There, we did it. He's the real champion. He did Thug Finals and absolutely beat the Grand Champion out. Nitori still won the tournament, but like, you know, it's like how when you like play a fighting game and you do like you meet a certain prerequisite, and when you finish the arcade, you fight the secret final boss at the end of it. That's what Morshu is. Can you not hit yourself again, Lyrica? Thank you. We got a Rivals tourney. We got, what do you call it? We got Fantasy Maiden Wars coming soon to a theater near you. Let's chat about all these puppets. No. I bet you don't even like puppets. No, I hate them. I hate puppets. Alright, boys. So yeah, not this week and probably not next week, but I will look into Fantasy Maiden Wars soon. Damn, that guy works fast. See, I was gonna wait. I was gonna hold off until I was finished with like the Mega Man stuff, because I feel like if I don't like catch up on Mega Man stuff, then I'll probably end up sidelining it again. But now that I don't have to play any of X5, 6, or 7, I just gotta play 7 and 8 regular. That speeds up the process pretty heavily. Remove Wriggle. Add Fumo Sakuya, Fumo Reimu, Marisa Sakuya, Rinosuke. That brings us to 22. Sounds good. Sounds good. I mean, is there even a reason to play an X game anymore after X4? Like, realistically? Is there even a fucking reason? Like, every game after X4 just has Glorp Despair tacked onto it, bro. Every game has Glorp Despair tacked onto it. Alright, let's check this grass. There is no X8. X8 is a lie. That's government propaganda. Orin and Shirno. Orin and Chirno and Orin and Murasa. Okay. Orin, Chirno, Murasa. Yes. What about the guy I was supposed to fight in X5? What's his name? Depo. I don't fucking remember his name. He looked like an asshole. Like, he had a very generic look to him. It's just Murasa's, huh? Sumereko. He doesn't even get killed? Well, he's killed in my universe, because that game didn't happen. Clearly it wasn't a very popular character, was he? Alright, chat, here's the plan. We're doing our next hunt. We're doing it here and the route next door. So we have Komachi, Doremi, Lily, Kotohime, Orin, Chirno, Sumereko, and Murasa as options here. I would love to get a water type. So let's get ready, boys. Let's get ready. Here we go. 15, and then we change grass. Let's do it, starting now. I'm not gonna be counting, of course. So somebody please count. Somebody please count. We're gonna do 15, 15. Do we make a bet? Yeah, I probably should. Slash prediction. We'll go top route. Bottom route. I'm currently on bottom route. Sparkle. There we go. Alright. Here we go. Oh, Kokodo's down here too. So we got a couple options. Murasa seems the most likely. Look at her stupid mask. 15, yeah, 15. I can't run from Kokodo. That's great. And I'm gonna keep finding Kokodo now that I can't run from her. Alright. Well, chat, we now have, we got plans. We got planograms for the future of the stream. How exciting. How exciting. I only have to play 2 more Mega Man games, and then I never have to play another Mega Man game again. 9, 10, 11, those aren't real Mega Man games. Nobody has to play those games. Besides, when you're talking about Mega Man games anyway, people only really talk about the retro ones, right? Yama beat Radosuke 3-0. Should be good. Like 3-0 as in she won a best of 5, or 3-0 as in she 3-stocked him? There's a difference. 3-stock. Damn! Now, to be fair, Yam has a really stupid move, which I'm curious if the AI spams it. The poison web shot is ludicrously strong. That move genuinely needs to be not as strong as it is. Oh, Yashi is here too. Cool. Is it Pizuya? It's flowering night. I'm gonna turn it down so I talk over it so it doesn't get claimed. It's pretty good though. Ba-da-da. I cannot run from Chen. God damn it. I might have to go pull out my Tay. Yeah, that poison web shot, when she charges her poison and fires the web with it, it can kill you so early for no reason. It is freakishly strong, and it really shouldn't be as strong as it is. But if the AI knows that and just does it, like, a lot, then the Yam is going to win a lot of matches. Oh, boy. Use what you got, but, like... as long as she pays attention. Are there any characters not on the workshop that you, like, would expect to be on the workshop? The main characters are all there. I mean, I guess regular Racing isn't there, but Fumo Racing's there. Alright. No Sanai. That's true. There is no Sanai. Well, nobody likes that one. Okay, I'm gonna have to go and, Actually, are you slower than Parsi? You're 39. You are! Not slower than Parsi. You're faster than Parsi. Okay, I'm gonna go get the... I'm gonna go get the Tay out of the box. Because I can't run from Chen, and I can't run from Kokoro. So I actually do need a... I do need a run bot still at this point in the game. That's ridiculous, by the way, that I'm here and I still need a fucking puppet that can run from things consistently. Alright, Glurp. You wait there. Alright, back we go. Back we go, back we go. Gonna be real careful, too. I didn't forget my little fiasco with Racing, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll never forget that. It's the first time I ever fucked up a shiny encounter in my life. Like, actually, legitimately. Well, there was the Skitty. There was the Skitty. I didn't have Pokeballs for that one, though. Alright. Here we go. Back to searching. How exciting. June's gonna end, or July's gonna end soon as well, which means Swimsuit July will end too, but that's okay. There's still August. Although while not necessarily like restricted to swimsuit, I am still trying to go the same kind of pace that we're going right now. With the shading, slowly introducing new aspects to it. Although I'm not doing anything today because I got something I'm doing later on my own anyway, which means, you know, it's just we lost like an hour and a half to Blurp. So I can do this for a bit. We can close out the stream with this, and if we don't succeed, then that's okay because we did a lot, and that just means VOD watchers can skip to next VOD. And you know the next VOD will only exist if the shiny hunt concludes at some point. So yeah, cool, right? More grids, more reading, more nothing. Yes. It's amazing how quick this is comparatively to what we were doing before. It's very quick to just run in grass, but when we were looking for goo. We found goo. Okay, I'm actually going to change the music since I have this so quiet because I'm afraid of copyright issues. I'm just going to put on something else that's not copyright. Here, have this. You see those AI thumbnails that keep popping up on me? I do. It's really weird to say this, but like, they're kind of obvious. You know what I mean? Like, when you see a thumbnail and you're like, you're really sure that it's AI. Like, you can never be truly sure if something's AI or not, but like, the level of AI that is used in those types of thumbnails, it has a very same look to it, right? Like, the lighting is the same for all of them. There's just something about it that you can just tell. You can tell that it wasn't made by a person. They all share the same like level of yellowed saturation to it. It makes it seem like it's all the same guy doing it, but I guess it is all the same guy doing it if you want to split hairs. There's a lot of them though. There's a lot of them and they all do look pretty similar. Don't you miss the old days? The old days of thumbnails? Just ripping off something from Pixiv? You know what I find funny is that there's some like Touhou images that are used multiple times on this website for different themes. So like you have 3 or 4 different mixes of a character's theme and they all use the same image as their thumbnail. So you sometimes you forget which one is actually the one you're looking for. CPU 1 or 2 weirdness. I forgot about that. That some characters wouldn't use their specials if they were in the wrong spot. I forgot about that entirely. Dun 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 dun. No, no, no. I have fled using runaway. I don't want any trouble. Just want my goo and I want to leave. There's I forget what one it was actually. I've definitely seen it for Satori. I've seen it for Tay. I've definitely seen it where it's just the same image, but they're different uploaders, different music. But it's like I see it, I'm like, wait a second. I kind of have to like take a moment to look at it. I gotta take a moment to identify it. Hooey. Oops. Gooya, gooya, gooya. This grass is a little bit further away, but it's not that big a deal. This reminds me of the time in 2019 that I spent playing Animal Crossing. What a not game that game is. Seriously. It's a very successful game, don't get me wrong. But it is certainly not a game. You know? It's really not a game. It's kind of a game. Time travelers New Horizons was interesting because New Horizons, when it came out, was mid-March, and it was cool. And there was a pretty like there was the whole time traveler. Like, if you don't know what time traveling means, it effectively just means you change your internal clock of your system, and it forwards time. And when it does that, it changes to the next day, and you get new events. Because Animal Crossing is kind of a daily thing where you can only do so much in a day, and then you want to go to the next day to get like a refresh on dailies and whatnot. Also, like fishing and bug catching, what you get there is by season, so there's that as well. So time traveling is not a new concept, but there's always some like stink eye towards like doing it. Like, wow, you're time traveling, bruh. I didn't do it because I didn't care. Really, that's kind of explains my opinion on that one. But what happened was that when April rolled around, Nintendo decided to do an entire fucking month of Easter. The whole month of April was Easter shit. So now, so much of the game was now just plugged with limited time, like Easter stuff that got really obnoxious really fast. So either you played 30 days where like you just got bombarded with really like gauche fucking like Easter shit, or you skipped out of April because you're tired of Hopper and all of the shit he is plugging into your island like a dirty rabbit motherfucker. Fuck you. But remember, that was like the third week of the game being out, because the game came out, what, like March 17th or something? So the game only was out for about nearly 2 weeks, and then it was just a month of that. And it's like, ugh. Please, Hopper, go home. So I'd say that some people probably got fed up with that. Either got fed up with the game at that point, or they just skipped through April. Because why would you want to play April when that's all you have to look forward to? Me, I unlocked the ability to like customize my island, and the game was... You gotta respect the gall of that game. A game that came out in that time frame, they gave you a fucking trowel and a smoother, and we're like, alright, go manually construct your island the way you want. No, you don't get a bird's eye view map. No, you don't get convenience. You get an actual item you put in your hand, and you have to go build cliffs and rivers and whatever you want by hand. Oh my god, they really did that. And you know what? People did it. People actually did do it. They renovated their entire islands by hand. I mean, what else did you have to do? It was a good time for it. But I realized pretty quickly that I didn't enjoy doing that. So I made like a single river. I made a pond. I put a turtle in the middle of it, encased him in water, and I was like, cool. And then I pretty much put that item away completely and continued to live on the island that I was on naturally. That's pretty much it. So people did definitely make use of the tool, don't get me wrong, but the tool is extremely like not user friendly when it could be. It reminds me of Shenmue in the way that Shenmue requires you to do a lot of really oddball things to actually do things. Like, you want to look into this cupboard, you gotta zoom in on the fucking cupboard, manually click the drawer, turn the knob, open the drawer, and then see there's nothing inside. Like, you gotta do so much extra shit when you could just, in other games, you just fucking Luigi goes, he goes, and then the dresser explodes into thousands upon thousands of dollars. It's like, I'd rather be Luigi in that case, wouldn't you? Bro's like, oh, let me check this vanity, and he just goes, and then suddenly like billions of dollars pops out. That's great. Shenmue is like, let me check this, and he like zooms in, he zooms in, he zooms in, he twists the knob, he opens it, nothing. You can only craft one item at a time. Yes. If you made fish bait, you had to craft it one at a fucking time. Crazy, right? Who doesn't want to be Luigi, though? I don't want to be Luigi when he's playing the game where he has to go into a haunted mansion all by himself. That's when I don't want to be Luigi. Because I'm scared of haunted mansions. But streamer, he made $100 million in that mansion. You know what? You're right. I guess he did, didn't he? He did make $100 million in that mansion. We have a cool vacuum. Oh, I'm glad the $100 million doesn't interest you, but the vacuum does. You can have the vacuum. I'll take the money, bro. I honestly don't know why Shenmue is considered a cult classic or has any form of popularity whatsoever. Because that game just looks fucking miserable as a video game. Like, I don't think anybody actually says the game is good. But people talk about it like it's a great game. But, like, you barely even played a fucking game when you're playing that game. How did it happen that way? Was it the only game you had? Ooh. But then Shenmue 3 did the same shit, right? Shenmue 3 didn't change with the times. It kept the same archaic bullshit for the first one, and people weren't having it. Fucking Shenmue. When's Shenmue 4, boys? When's Shenmue 4? When's the thrilling conclusion to the quad how do you say trilogy but with 4? Huh? How do you say quadrilogy? That's stupid. That's a dumb fucking word. Quadrilogy. That sounds made up. You fucking made that up. Although I thought the word thrice was stupid. The first time I saw the word thrice was in Mario Party 8, where you eat the thrice candy to roll 3 dice. And I was like, what the fuck is thrice? That's not a real word. You lie to me. That's why people just say saga. Does saga mean 4? I thought saga was just like a series. It's rules of 3s or rules of 7s. Odd numbers work best. The reason why odd numbers work best is because you can break up half to the good guys and half to the bad guys, and then you can have one left that the good guys and the bad guys have to like have a big showdown for. That's why 7 works so well. You get 3, he gets 3, and then you gotta fight for the 4th, and the winner takes all. To be honest, I don't know why we do rules of 7s for things. That's kind of just how it's always been, huh? 7 is just a good number for that. And I assume part of the reason is why I mentioned there is because it allows you to break up, it allows you to break the stakes up for both sides to evens, and then have one outlier where it has to be like climactic clash. Otherwise, why do we do 7? Why do we do rules of 7 for MacGuffins? Why 7 MacGuffins? Imagine a game where there's only 2 MacGuffins. That's it. You get 2 MacGuffins and then you can go defeat the final boss. It's like, that's not much of a game, is it? Best of 3s. Well, best of 3s are done for time purposes. Best of 5s too. Best of 7s are exhausting. And also you do best of odd numbers because, well, that means pretty self-explanatory actually. Because the number of matches you have to win, there's a maximum amount of games you can play. In a best of 3, you have to win 2. In a best of 5, you gotta win 3. But the number of possible games goes up because both players could be up 2 games and then go to game 5. But possibly they can just win 3 games in a row and they win 3. First to 10 is exhausting. That gets you to 20 games potentially. Well, actually 19, not 20, because you can't play unless one's a draw, I guess, and nobody gets a point. But if you're calling draws, then draws can go more than just once. But it would be 19 games because the maximum amount of points somebody could be is 10-9 for 19 games. There couldn't be a 20th game to play. What if we don't get a puppet that doesn't learn surf? I have an Ittori in the box that can learn surf anyway. If I really need it for progression, I can do that. It's just more convenient if it's someone that I can actually have on the team. Thankfully, like, 2 water types are in these grasses. Like, Komachi and Murasa definitely can both learn Surf. Juno can probably Surf too. Orin can't. I highly doubt Orin can. I don't think she can either. But we're just leaving it up to Lady Luck. We don't need Surf that much. There's some points where we'll need Surf, but we're never gonna randomly need Surf anywhere that I won't be able to, like, prepare for it ahead of time. Preferably without having to, like, you know, axe the team. This is Heartgold, so I don't have to go to Whirl Islands. We had to go up Tin Tower, so there's that. I do have to Surf the CN Wood, which is fine. There are trainers, but I don't need a full party for that. I could just leave behind the one who can't fight water types. I have to Surf over to Mahogany, which is barely anything at all. And I have to Surf into Dragon's Den, which is barely anything at all. There's not a lot of places I have to Surf. There's places I can go back to and get some items and shit with surfing, but it's not that bad. I didn't have any water types last time last one I played. Kind of wonderful how that happened, huh? I think this is it's just water types this time too. It was last time as well. Wee. Fly. Yeah, Fly happens more often than it probably should, but Fly is not necessary. Fly is just convenient. It is really annoying to have to go into the box, pull out a Fly or Fly, put them back in the box, though. It's just especially bad when you're at a point in the game where you have, like, an endgame team and you have to fight endgame opponents, and then suddenly your team is restricted by, like, a mon or two because you needed an HM to access them. That shit is so annoying, dude. That's why HMs are annoying. Like, I get the purpose of the progression blocking for them, and they want to make them have, like, merits to keeping on the team, but if you just have a team that is incapable of learning a move, you can't make progress until you sacrifice one of your team slots. And in normal Pokemon games, it can be whatever, because, you know, you can pretty much solo those games. But in ROM hacks, when ROM hacks do it, ROM hacks kind of expect you to have, like, real teams to work with. So when you're deliberately axing a core member of your main team so you have a level 4 goo to, like, fucking click strength for you, suddenly you're at a massive disadvantage. And it's like, well, their team is not... They have, like, 6 puppets on their team because they're designed with the intention of being, like, a proper fight. But then... in the regular games, the only Pokemon trainers, like, you actually fight who have 6 Pokemon are, like, the champions or your rivals, either right at the end of the game or post-game. Like, very few characters in actual Pokemon games have full teams of 6, and if they do, they're usually, like, the guy who has 5 fucking Magikarps or some shit. So it doesn't matter if you have a team spot. Like, usually the more Pokemon they have, the lower their average levels are. So, like, the breeders in Hoenn, for example, they have a bunch of, like, level 12 or 13 Pokemon on the route between Verdanturf and Mahogany. Or Mauville, not Mahogany. Oh. Alright. Alright, I'm going. We won't be here too long, I don't think. You know, it's been 2 hours, 20 minutes. It's about 13 to 9, so we're not going to be here super long. I'd give myself about 15, 20 more minutes, and then we can wrap it up for the day. Give myself some time. That ought to be good. That ought to be good. We made great progress today. You know, we beat Whitney. We went north. We, didn't do much else. Actually, I don't know what we did. Well, we cleared this route, so there's that. Be nice to have, like, a little clicker watch or something. Just click it every time I get an encounter. And then just see. We need, like, 500 or some shit to break 50-50 averages, right? 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 50-50 50-50. Them Kecleon odds, dude. Them Kecleon odds. How many Kecleons have I recruited at this point? Oh, actually, a whole team's worth. Pardon me, coming through, looking for the strangely colored puppet. Don't you mind? The strange colored Chirno. That's Burno. I think she's actually black in this game. I don't think she's Burno. Back in we go. Dark Chirno. Burno existed in what was it? The Live Alive game? I don't remember where I fought Burno. I think it was the Live Alive game. I seem to recall fighting a red Chirno in that game, and she had fire powers. They called her Burno. Was that in her story, or was that in the like the final map that you have to do? I think that was in her trial in the final map, and it wasn't actually in her story. But she might have had. I don't know if she had a secret boss, but I know she had a secret move that you got by attacking like something in the background. And that move was kind of pivotal. It's kind of very important. The Euclid supercomputer. I remember I played an hour or something of a box pushing puzzle game, mini game, where you play as Cube, the guy who you actually play at in that chapter in the main game. I dedicated like a whole part to that. I did it. I beat it. Was it worth it? Probably not. To be fair, is anything worth it? Actually, that reminded me, chat. You know how in Ocarina of Time you get the silver scale from the Zora dive minigame, and you need the Zora scale or the silver scale to get the bottle with Ruto's letter in it to give to King Zora, so he'll let you through to see Jabu Jabu. What do you need the gold scale for? Does that get you anything? Like, does it do anything that you can't do with Iron Boots? Can you even get it before Iron Boots? Because I was watching Joel. He spent 2 hours. Supposed to use it in the lab to get a heart piece. Oh, can't you just Iron Boots? Can't you just use the Iron Boots? I mean, obviously you can, because that's how people do it. I watched Joel spend 2 hours trying to catch the Hylian Loach. And the Hylian Loach, you catch that, and the fisherman guy's like, whoa, take $50. Cool. So, you don't need the Hylian Loach to get the gold scale. So there's no point in catching the Hylian Loach, which makes me wonder, did they put that in the game because they could? Did they put it in the game because they were so confident their fishing mini game was so awesome that people are gonna want to do that? Why'd they do it? You can Iron Boots, but only registers if you hookshot the box at the bottom. What? How does that work? Wait, what? I don't even understand what that means. No, you catch the Loach, you cash it in, the guy gives you 50 rupees, and he throws it back in the pond. That's it. That's it, that's all you get. Why is it so fucking rare then? I don't know. Isn't there a Loach you can catch in Twilight Princess too? Twilight Princess has a fucking gyro ball tilt minigame that you have to do 64 times to get the max reward, which I think is just her filling your wallet to full capacity. I don't know the reason why behind it, but it triggers the puzzle solved jingle. What? Game checks you are swimming at the bottom. Hookshotting puts you in the swimming state at the bottom. What? That's so confusing, bro. Because I never got the gold scale in OOT, but I also don't think I ever got every heart piece in OOT, so yeah. Stardew Valley. I mean, how many times has a game had something like that that's completely optional, but like stupidly annoying in its rarity and its complexity to actually get? To a degree that you're pretty sure you needed a guide if you actually wanted to see it. Like it's a video game secret, but you don't get anything for it, right? Like the Loach is a cool secret, but like, who cares? Shinies are cool secrets, but they're not integral to anything. They just kind of happen. What about Kirby? Does Kirby have a secret enemy who only shows up 1 in 1 million times, and he goes Babugi, and then disappears? And if you eat him, you become Giga Kirby, and your game cartridge like snaps in half. Like, why don't they do shit like that in video games anymore? Well, they never did, streamer. No, but like, what if they did do that? What if they actually had the capacity? What if they had the capacity to create an enemy that only appears a fraction of the time, and if you interact with it, it actually just bricks your cart? You'd never get away with it. How rooms exist. There's a secret enemy that looks like Kirby in 3. There's also female Gooey, who shows up like in the Gooey level like 1 out of 3 times. You just want games to be malware. No, I don't want them to be malware, but like, I mean, like, it'd be kind of cool, you know, if your game just fucking ceased to function because of a rare 1 in 1 million spawn. Right? I mean, did you see what Joel did to the GTA trilogy? He made a whole meme out of it. The Grand Theft Auto trilogy was such a massive stinker of a release. And Joel played it on Switch, and he just kept drinking Sprunk from the vending machine. And the game wasn't getting rid of the Sprunk that he drank. So he just kept drinking it, and then his software closed due to an error. And he could no longer boot the game anymore. He could no longer boot the GTA trilogy anymore. It was now permanently, like, broken because it couldn't handle. It couldn't handle it. They call it sprunking it. This actually happened. You could probably just Google it real quick. Sprunk incident. And you'll probably find like a 30-second or minute clip of Joel just drinking out of a vending machine until his Nintendo Switch says there was an error or a problem and we have to close the software. And then when he tries to reboot the game, he continues to get that error and he can no longer play the GTA trilogy. It's real. It's real. And like, what if games did that, but like, not by accident, but like on purpose? But only 1 in a million chance. I could sure go for some Sprunk. I'm talking about Rockstar. Do you know how much money Rockstar has already made off of GTA 6 pre-orders alone? Like, Rockstar's not going anywhere. Yeah, but you're stuck with a 1 in 1 million guy. Yeah, but then you have a really cool story for no one to believe. Guys, I was playing my game and I this weird dude showed up and I like hit him and then my game broke and now it doesn't work anymore. And people be like, psh, yeah, right, okay. And then you're like, no, dude, look. And then you and then you like try to boot it up, and then like nothing happens? What if you boot up the game and you just get a message that says like you saw me, and then it just the game doesn't boot up ever again. It boots up once, it just says you saw me or you found me, and then never boots up again. So that way you can never prove it happened. This guy's crazy. I check under my bed every night for Sonic.exe. I open my door and check down the hall for Freddy and Bonnie and Chica. I check my closet for Foxy. And then I go to sleep. Yes. They can't get away with that. Like, they can definitely, like, fuck around with your stuff, but people don't really like to jeopardize your game. But I'm just saying it'd be kind of cool if you bought a game and the game was just like, you know what, fuck you, and then stopped working entirely. But you need, like, massive disclaimers so people can't sue you or get refunds. It would be, make it freeware. Yeah, there's your solution. If the game's free, then go for it. I mean, there was a Flash game that was that I knew about back then. I forget what it was called, but the game, obviously, you can reset your progress by resetting things like cookies and whatnot. But the idea of the game was that you got one shot. You played through the game, you got one shot to play through it, and then every time you tried to boot up the game afterwards, you would just be left on the ending screen that you got. That's it. You couldn't do anything over. And it's like, whoa, that's deep. But you could just delete your cookies and then the game would give you a new save anyway. So, blurb. But the idea conceptually was neat. I barely remember anything about it other than that. Sorry to say. I don't know what one shot is. Probably one chance. That sounds correct. I think one shot is something different entirely. Which means I might have accidentally spoiled something very relevant to that game. Just by comparing it to something else. But I guess the game is called One Shot. Which means, yeah, it's right there in the fucking title. You get one shot. Gamers don't like when they can't reload their save. Come on now. This isn't real life, bitch. I'm playing Cave Story. Alright, streamer, here's how you play Cave Story. I am no longer playing Cave Story. You know, I've always had a mild interest in Cave Story, but I also don't really want to play Cave Story that much. It's weird. It's like a combination of, yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff from Cave Story in bits and pieces, and I've heard it's a pretty cool game, and it's kind of like a grandfather to indie games in a way. But then it's also kind of really hard, and it's extremely convoluted for endings, and it's the type of game that your chat tries to play vicariously through you. Which, believe me, I get enough of that. So it's a hard game to want to commit to. I play Moyashi. Moyashi is kind of like Cave Story. Kind of, anyway. I don't know any of the plot beats or story elements to Cave Story. Like, at all. I just know it's a game. I know it's a game. There are some games that I've, like, known about for a long time, but I've realistically never experienced any real spoiler to them because, I don't know, actually. I guess sometimes you just don't get spoiled to a game. Hmm. Hmm. I never played Shovel Knight or any Shovel Knight type either. Yeah, that one was pretty good though. Shovel Knight's fucking old at this point. Oh, it's old. Oh, I was watching, this was a while back at this point, but there was a game that came out. It's called Look Outside. And it was like some RPG horror, like grotesque horror type game that seemed pretty neat. Had good reception. And Joel started playing it, and I was like, okay, that's cool, I'll check it out. And like, I could not really, like, I don't usually get that bothered by it, but like, that was one of the most, like, Joel is not playing this game he's ever played. Now, he's obviously played other games that are kind of like that too, but that was one of the most, Joel is not the one playing this game. He takes 5 steps and then his chat's just like, Joel, no, ruined it, botched, fucked up, reload, save, like, you couldn't take 5 fucking steps, couldn't do anything in the game without someone being, Joel, look here, Joel, look, do this, do that, do this, do that, you missed secret boss, oh, one time borked it, ruined it, sprunky. And that was it. That was unironically it for like an hour and a half, and I was just like, no, I'm good. This game seems neat, but it also seems very, like, a lot of options and things that you can just miss by accident. And you got 1,000 people, like, shouting at you to not miss this, not miss that, do this, do that, get this, get that. And it's just like, okay, alright, I'm good. I'm good. Like, some games get really bad for that. Isaac has a pretty big reputation for that, for sure. Isaac can be a game where, like, if you're new to it, then there will be a lot of people who are, like, just telling you what you should do and what you should grab, and then questioning why you're playing the game the way you are. That one happens a lot too. Like, oh, I'll grab this item in Isaac that I've never seen before. Someone in chat just goes, why did you grab that? That item is bad. Oh, my bad. Whoops. Sorry. Let me just go put that back on the pedestal and try the game over again, brother. Undertale was really bad for that before, yeah. I don't know what it's like nowadays, because I don't really watch people play Undertale for the first time. I assume Deltarune's probably similar, though. Deltarune's probably another game where if you so much as look at something poorly, then the chat, like, flips shit at you. But Undertale, when Undertale was new, Undertale was one of those games where if you tried to do anything that wasn't the pacifist route, you were met with some opposition. You were met with some serious opposition. Unless you were, like, explicitly stated, they're like, I am doing the genocide. But, like, if you just tried to play the game yourself and you killed anything, oh no. That was not about to fly. If you were playing for the first time, that shit had to be a true pacifist route. You did not get the option. Sorry, bitch. Multiple ways to play. No. No. A neutral route can cease to be neutral, like, at any time, which is fascinating. There's actually a ton of dialogue that Sans has at the end of the game based on which bosses you actually killed, which I think is pretty neat. Pretty much everybody's first playthroughs of that game tends to go similarly, though, where they beat the game and then they're, like, told to go back to the lab. And then they go back to the lab, and that allows them to do the true pacifist run. Although, to be honest with you, I don't even know if that lab is open before you do a neutral ending once, like, actually. Because it seems like everybody ends up doing the Omega Flowey fight and then getting informed about the lab. And it's like, oh. It's not. Oh, okay, so that's intended then. Because I was like, it seems like everybody does that. So I guess it's just, of course that's how that happens, because it won't let you do it anyway. Okay. Because Flowey tells you to go back to the lab, and then you reload your save, and you go back to the lab. And that lets you do it. See, the first time I played Undertale was on my own. There were a bunch of frogs that told me about combat. Then I killed a frog, and then those frogs disappeared, and I was like, huh. And then I found out a couple battles later what the spare action was, and I was like, oh, I see. So, since I was in, like, the 3rd room of the ruins, I just restarted the game. And then I was like, alright, I'm just not gonna kill things, because I don't want to. So, I didn't get spoiled on anything for Undertale. I played it, and I actively did want to play it, like, pacifist-wise, so I did, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I enjoyed. Game gives you options to kill or not kill. Person kills. Pikachu face. You monster. Secret bosses and the eggs. I don't know what the eggs means, but the secret bosses, sure. You know what's funny? I played Deltarune Part 1 and 2 like 5 years ago. Pretty sure Part 3 and Part 4 have been out for about 2 years now. And Part 5 is a couple weeks to a month now. So many cryptic secrets. Secrets and lies. Give me that damn egg. Where's that damn 4th egg? I don't remember much of what happened in Deltarune. Sorry to say. I mean, each part is like its own 5-6 hour experience, right? So like, all parts together would probably be like a real substantial game. Wait for it, we'll leave it out for a year. Really? Feels like it's been longer than a year. Because like Part 2 came out, what, 4 or 5 years ago? Like I have a playlist for it, and I think that playlist is 4 or 5 years old. Chapter 5 was 10 hours long. Is that because you were bad at it, or is that just like because the game is that fucking long? Because I'm pretty sure Part 2 took me like, what, 6 or 7 hours? I don't remember. Did you die a million times to the secret boss? I don't remember how I taught. Oh wait, Lancer. I remember Lancer. Yeah, Lancer was Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, that was great. He was Jerry Seinfeld. I don't even know if I can still do that. Lancer was a funny little guy. The secret bosses are probably pretty fun. If I was to play Deltarune again, I'd probably play it when it's all done. It'll probably be a while for that, and I'm obviously missing aspects and maybe even changes from the parts to the main games. But like, I do like fighting the secret bosses. Those are pretty cool endurance tests. Jebel and Spamton also have great music, so there's that. But I don't actually know what... I don't know what the plots of Part 3, 4, or 5 is. I'm pretty sure I know who the secret boss is in the third one, just because, well, that was an accident, of course. I don't know who the secret boss is in 4 or 5. I could wager a guess as to who's the secret boss in 5. He might not be much of a secret, though, is the thing. So, like, well, I don't really know. What a strapping young lad. No, I'm pretty dislocated from like Deltarune knowledge. I am, which is probably for the best. But there are bits and pieces that I know from like names that have been thrown around, but not necessarily like, you know, things that I've seen or why characters are relevant to other things. There's only 2 chapters left. It can't be that much longer. Tuturu is almost finished. And when it's finished, yes. It is almost done. And then when it's done, we can all go home. secrets and Easter eggs and doo-doo-doo. And then Toby Fox will start his next game. It'll be called Nude Latry. Good game. Yep. That'll be the game. Nude Latry. What's the plot? I don't know. That's up to Mr. Fox. How many parts, streamer? At least 2. Altered Nut. Now that is a good name. That's a good name. If I take these letters of the alphabet and rearrange them, you get this. What's this? The strongest combination of letters possible in the English language, of course. Alright, chat. I'm looking at 10 more minutes of this, and then we're gonna stop for the day. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Hoy. Is there a game that you saw like a teaser for like 3 or 4 years ago and then you just like forgot about to a point where you're not even sure if it came out or if it's like even still in development? There was a game I watched Vinny play years ago, and I only remember it because it came up in like a clip channel that I saw. You play as like this little red guy with a big eye, and you got like a fucking like crystal baby. And like I don't remember anything about that game at all. But I think that's been I don't know what the state of that game is, but I think he played that like 4 years ago or something. Sometimes I look at VODs and I see like, oh, I remember that, and then I see it says 1 year ago. I'm like, oh, is that so? Pizza Tower? When did Pizza Tower come out? Does anyone remember how old Pizza Tower is? The Switch game with the guys with the blue chain personas. That was Astral Chain. That's an old game. Pizza Tower is 3 years old. Oh. Cool. Pizza Tower came out in January, right? You want to talk about... Okay, here's a game. Daemon X Machina. Do you know how many fucking times Daemon X Machina was in a goddamn Nintendo Direct? That game was in so many Nintendo Directs. I do not know what that game actually looks like when you play it. But it was in every fucking Nintendo Direct, dude. Daemon X Machina. And it just... It came out at some point... It came out at some point, but I do not know what that game is like. There's a sequel too. How can there be a sequel? When did the first one come out? I'm so out of touch with video games, dude. I'm so out of touch. Don't ask me to name a single JRPG. I will not fucking be able to. There's too many of those fucking things that exist. I don't even know what they all are. Name one game from this year. Rhythm Heaven. Splatoon Raider. Oh yeah, that came out like... That came out a little bit ago, actually. How's that one doing? It's a single player only game, so I have to imagine that some Sploot players are playing it for like 12 hours a day. And they're gonna like burn themselves out before August even rolls over. Maybe there's replayability. It has multiplayer. Okay, alright. We'll see. I particularly don't care because Sploot is not my game. But like, I'm sure it'd be nice if the game survived and had reason to keep playing it. Beyond the first week of release. I must play this game for 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. I need to play this game. It is in my lifeblood. I eat, I sleep, I shit, I play Splatoon. Look at it this way. You only have to watch somebody play a new game for a maximum of 3 days before somebody stops playing it because they've already beaten it or they no longer care about it. It's that simple. Sometimes you do have to wait out the wave, though. Especially if it's a game you want to play yourself. Well, actually, if you want to play it yourself, it's easier because you can just play it yourself. If it's a game you have virtually no interest in whatsoever, but then the entirety of your following tab does, then you're in trouble because you gotta wait. You gotta sit there and you gotta wait till it's done. Imagine being the world's biggest Elden Ring hater. And you're like, man, Dark Souls is ass. It's all bad, not good. Elden Ring's gonna be shit. Elden Ring comes out, and now the entire website is playing Elden Ring for like a straight week. You can't even be on this site without seeing somebody playing Elden Ring. They're all Elden Ringers, my guy, all of them. And you are just, you're sitting there in your little I hate FromSoft bubble, and your cool I really wish FromSoft went bankrupt button on your chest, and you're watching people enjoy Elden Ring, and you're just like, can't they get through this game already and go back to playing something else? What are they doing, man? Stop playing Elden Ring. Play something else. Play somebody, amigo. I don't know what that game is. Actually, I know of that game's existence. I don't know what that game actually is. It's a mystery to me. Pay close attention to his I really hate FromSoft button on his chest. Dark Souls 2 is one of the worst video game experiences I've ever had in the history of video game experiences. This is Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, bitch. You getting jumped. My favorite. There's nothing I like more than taking 3 steps forward and aggroing the entire stratosphere to come fire giant death lasers directly at my position. That's my favorite part of Dark Souls. What did I even do? Nothing. I was just in the area and they didn't like me. That's how most of Dark Souls feels, to be honest with you. Most of Dark Souls is just, you enter an area, somebody looks at you and you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then they beat your ass. Like, bro, chill? I'm just passing through? Like, you don't have to fucking stab me to death. Why does everyone want to stab me to death? There's like 5 NPCs in the game who don't try to stab me unless I stab them first. Alright, we're getting close to wrapping up. I give myself 3 minutes, I think. Pretty much one more cycle of 15 in the next patch of grass. Be about 9:30, 3 hours in. Yeah. Alright. Coming up on 3 minutes. You only got 3 minutes. And I'll conclude. Alright. Am I losing the heart? Well, not really. More like I'm getting thirsty. And I've been doing this long enough today, it's okay to stop now. You know? Lily! Alright. Now we have to hit her without killing her. Alright, we'll hit it with the leech seed and then we'll hit it with the stun spore. Hit it with the stun spore. I don't know if Lily's even good. Probably not, but well. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Alright. Throw a puppet orb at her. It's just that easy. Fairy that heralds the coming of spring. Charming and enthusiastic. 25 AH. Yeah. What other name could she possibly have? Lily W. Alright. Now I need to get back to Ekritique. I was hoping for Komachi or Doremi. Not you, though. Well, we're definitely not holding hope for you. Komachi could have used Surf. Doremi would have been Doremi. I guess at least it wasn't Chen. Alright, back in Ekritique. Let's take a look at her. Does she even like hold on. She can learn fly. Oh, that's great. That's fucking fantastic. Calm nature. Okay, that's actually a pretty good, it's a pretty good one for her. Spring charm, it's marble scale. Yep. And she's got wanting, gust, sweet kiss, wing attack. But what about Glurp? What about Glurp? After what she did at the gym, man, you were just gonna say goodbye to her? I mean, I can evolve her later when the levels get higher, and it's not that big of a deal. She only has one evolution, and that's her level up. So she might fall off. Also, she's basically just a special defense gimmick, which I guess so are you. Alright, welcome to the team, Lily W. All that time we spent looking for Glurp? Unnecessary. We have Goo and Lily on the team. This is a fucking kind of a all-star lineup, wouldn't you say? Relaxed. Alright. Alright. Hit him with the save button. Hit him with the save button. Alright. She came at the perfect time. I was like 2 minutes from wrapping it up, so... Well done. Great timing, great timing. There you go, chat. New shiny acquired. So next time, we'll get her up to the level with the other guys. We'll go through Burn Tower. We'll see what we can do with Morty. Because after that, we're going to need to get Surf and figure out where to go from there. There's plenty more places to look for shinies down the line. We'll see who gets replaced team-wise. You know, we got a couple. We got a couple in there that aren't really the greatest. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But for now, that's it. Next time, progress.